Andy Mineo is back with MPJ Freestyle, which stands for Michael Porter Jr., who's a basketball player. I believe he plays for the Nuggets at the moment, but this was actually a song that we'll shown a snippet of at the start of the year that I did a video on. I'll play that snippet.
It's time to become a parent. I don't got mine, and plus I've been scared that having a child is gonna interfere with all of the goals I have for career. When I get my own, I gotta be there. Can't be like Joe and go disappear. What up, Jay James?
And now we've got the full one. This is kind of a lead up to his album Neverland 2, a continuation of the project that he did quite a while ago. It was actually one of the earlier CHH projects that I listened to, Neverland 1, and he says a lot on this track. He talks about him thinking it's time to have a kid and his kind of anxieties about it, with his goals, his career, him not having his father around. And then he goes on to one of the biggest lines on the track, which we talked about from the snippet a while ago, where he says he's got one more year and I'm out of the deal, might go independent and do it like Dill. Obviously my accent doesn't make it rhyme as much, but he's talking about no big deal, how no big deal's independent. He kind of just does what he wants. He's got the indie tribe thing going and not being tied to a label, and he would have recorded this song a while ago, so I don't know when that year is actually coming up, but that will be very, very interesting. Man, thinking back, a few years ago, thinking about KB and Andy Mineo leaving Reach would have been massive. I mean, it still is. Another very interesting part, well, there's a lot of interesting parts on this track. It's a lot of married men in the NBA got shorties in cities on NDAs. Law, keep your hand on MPJ, talking about Michael Porter Jr., that he keeps his pants on and behave. I don't want to see him turning out like Dwight, talking about Dwight Howard. Started off right, then he lost his light. Said that he would do all things through Christ. I mean, he did do all things, yikes. So obviously, it didn't turn out too well for Dwight. Nightwing pointed out on Genius that Howard's had 5 different children from 5 different women. And that's the biggest thing, man. We see a lot of NBA stars, they get into the league, they're praising God, they get so much money, they got women everywhere, and it's very easy to give in. He also talks about rappers doing PR stunts, giving money to people. Another line, can't sit by and watch, I'm not Jerry Falwell, that might have to just cost me a bag from over there, oh well. Jerry Falwell was a former president of Liberty University, and Nightwing, again annotated on Genius, that he resigned. It was revealed he found his wife having an affair with the pool boy in their home, and he sat in the corner and watched. So it's a funny way to put it there, Andy. And later on, he goes to talk about Neverland 2 being on the way. A very interesting track. It's actually crazy that he'd almost call out Dwight like this, and Michael Porter, I guess in a more good way. But I like it. It's very honest. I'm sure a lot of people would think that, but they just wouldn't, say it, especially if you're a public figure like Andy Mineo. Let me know what you guys think.